This podcast is brought to you by Odiogo.com.
Migrationwatch UK explains why present policies cannot keep UK population under 70 million. Current immigration policies will ensure that Britain's population will rise to over 70 million within the next 20 years, Migrationwatch UK has warned. In a briefing paper which explains why the government's new points-based system (PBS) cannot prevent this environmental and demographic disaster from overwhelming Britain, Migrationwatch Chairman Andrew Green said that the population of the UK today is already 61 million. According to official projections, it will rise to 70 million by 2028. 70% of this growth is thanks to immigration, now running at a net level of 237,000 a year. The official projection assumes that it will continue at 190,000 a year, the paper says. If the UK's population is not to hit 70 million later in the century, there must be a reduction in net migration of the order of 75% from the present level to about 60,000 a year. Even so, there would be a population increase of nearly 10 million, almost all of it in England, roughly equivalent to adding the population of Sweden to that of England. To hold the population to 65 million would require a reduction in net immigration to close to zero or balanced migration, that is to the levels of 1991-3. Even this would mean adding almost the population of Scotland to that of England, Migrationwatch UK says. The government have claimed that immigration would have fallen by 12,000 last year if its new measures had been in place, whereas it needs to fall by nearly 190,000 if the population is not to hit 70 million by 2081. Even eliminating all work permits would not, of itself, suffice. The paper then goes on to propose a balanced migration option, whereby the numbers leaving the country are balanced with those entering, in the hope that this will solve the problem. This is, of course, where the British National Party differs with Migrationwatch's analysis. The reality is that the population growth figures for recent arrivals is already far higher than native indigenous Britons. A balanced migration policy will therefore not prevent the indigenous population of Britain from being demographically overwhelmed and replaced by masses of third worlders, without extra measures being put in place to prevent this occurring. This commitment to preserving the majority indigenous makeup of Britain divides the BNP from all other political parties in this country. All others pretend that the replacement of British people in this nation is not occurring, and only the BNP dares to speak out on this vital issue. Read the Migrationwatch UK paper here. Share.